So in recent news, ISIS apparently was doxing, they probably just looked on Facebook, the information of several generals of the military. I don't remember if it was Army or Navy or whatever, it really doesn't matter. What does matter is that these ISIS combatants, if you want to call them that, I don't fucking know, essentially the government is not going to prosecute them. And I know exactly why, but before I get into that, let me go into the moderator debacle. The fact is that as soon as ISIS did this shit and gloated about it, Twitter and YouTube and all the other sites that ISIS is paramount on got their accounts taken down, swept under the rug. That's going to make the government's job 10 times harder. How is the government supposed to investigate something when all evidence against them is either deleted or hidden? It's just, that's more backtracking they have to do. That's more, just skirmishing around, going in and out, trying to get this information when YouTube and Twitter could have just left well enough alone and let them worry about it. It's not just a matter of what they did, it's a matter of what they will do in the future, and if their accounts were up, then the government could fish that information and lure them into a more credible threat. They could lure them into a more credible evidence to, prosecute them and stick them in Guantanamo or whatever. But now they can't do that because fucking, YouTube and Twitter and all other moderators think they're the sheriff and fucking just go off in their vigilante justice, just banning everything. So, in closing, moderators are the terrorists. Moderators have directly aided terrorism by making the government's job 10 times harder to actually investigate terrorist activity. But nobody fucking wants to point that out, and the fucking blue pill news is just fapping over the moderators took care of it, the moderators banned them. That doesn't fucking solve anything. Now, obviously the government just doesn't care that much about the victims of ISIS, or ISIS themselves, if they're just gonna let these fucking moderators run amok. They're the real terrorists, they're the ones behind all this shit. It would be so much easier to deal with them, to deal with any threat, if you just got fucking moderators out of the equation. This has nothing to do with privacy, this has nothing to do with combating terrorism. This has to do with the fact that we have blatant felons, we have blatant thugs and criminals running the internet, just doing whatever the fuck they want to, and nobody seems to care. And, I don't empathize for the generals that their information got compromised because of it, because they should know better. They live in 2015. They should fucking know how technology works and why we need to get rid of moderators. They're fucking war generals. They should fucking just go over to their houses and shoot moderators. But, everybody, you know what it is? It's because moderators are white people. White people can't be terrorists. That's what this really comes down to. Only brown people can be terrorists. And it's fucking maniacal and asinine. So, that's really all I have to say about that part of the subject matter, is that moderators have now made the government's job of actually investigating terrorism that much harder. And the reason why they're probably not going to prosecute ISIS, or at least that's what the news says, is because, well, if their accounts can get taken down, then they are not legal persons. See, everybody wants to forget that aspect. And that's why you can download all the child pornography you want and fucking attack people and steal the credit card information and shit like that. Because you are not a person online. You are an apparatus. You cannot jail things. You can only jail people. So in order to jail people, you first have to have the rights of a person. And the rights of a person are being violated by moderators. Their privacy, their personhood, their fucking everything. Moderators are rapists. They fucking just attack you whenever, wherever, however, over whatever reason they damn well please. And that is not how the interaction between persons operate. So until they're willing to validate that people online are persons, and thereby their accounts are an extension of their person, and cannot be violated by some twat moderator who's having a bad day, or maybe not even having a bad day, he's just a fucking sociopath, they are not going to be able to prosecute anybody, no matter what they did. It doesn't matter how terrible it was. They could fucking have launch nuke secrets or whatever, because they are not persons. You cannot prosecute a person. Now, maybe under warfare, the law is a little different. Maybe under martial law, you could put a apparatus in Guantanamo. I would love to see the fucking robots and drones in fucking Guantanamo Bay. But that's how stupid it looks when you take out the personhood in the legal equation. So either which way, they should go after moderators, whether or not you believe that people are persons online or not. If they are persons online, well, then they should go after moderators because they are violating the law against persons. If they are not persons online, well, what we do online is of no consequence. It's not our responsibility. This video is just an apparatus. It is just a thing. It is just an expression of data. And apparently, I am not a person online. So therefore, whatever I do is not my liability. It is YouTube's liability. If I fucking post launch secrets on YouTube, that would be YouTube's responsibility because YouTube is the person, and that's why they can do whatever the fuck they want to this apparatus. So until the government is willing to make that distinction, they can't do shit. And that's why we're in the situation that we are. So until they get their ass up and start fucking doing something, I don't want to hear it. And I don't want to hear about the poor generals and the poor generals' families and shit that suffer because of it. Just fucking go after moderators. The end.